Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you this afternoon. Well, I woke up about an hour ago, so yeah. I would have done a video sooner, but I didn't wake up till close to noon, and I didn't go to bed till like close to 2 p.m. 2 a.m. I meant to say, because I was playing Assassin's Creed 2 on my Xbox One for like an extra hour and a half or two. So yeah, I was supposed to go to bed at like almost midnight last night, and then I just got sidetracked playing the game and trying to figure out how to get the codex pages in the game. But yeah, um, but this is not what the video is about. This video is about the worst movies of 2022 so far, part 1, section 1 video. So I'm going to discuss what I'm going to be talking about from numbers 1 to whatever number I get to in this video and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this worst movies of 2022 so far, part 1, section 1 video, I guess you could call it. Now at number 1 is The King's Daughter. Now, I just found this movie to be boring, bland, and bad. And it's basically about Pierce Brosnan, Pierce Brosnan's character. He's like king. He's a king or whatever. I can't remember what king he is, but he's some kind of king of England. And basically, he captures a mermaid and kidnaps a mermaid, and then basically just wants to sacrifice the mermaid to the blood moon or whatever. And I'm like, seriously? This is the script you're going for? This is stupid, honestly. The Pierce Brosnan turned out to be kind of an asshole through most of the movie until the ending of the movie. And then I'm like, okay, that's a little better, but it doesn't make the movie watchable again. So there are a lot of problems with this movie. It's a bad movie, for sure. And it was the first movie that I found to be very bad this year. Not really bad, but it was bad, for sure. So at number 1, I picked The King's Daughter. I don't know, there wasn't much good qualities about this movie. Some of the acting performances were from the Kaya girl or whatever. I can't remember her last name. The Kaya actress, I guess you could say. She didn't do so bad. She was the one that made more sense in this movie than Pierce Brosnan because he felt like a forgettable character, honestly, in this movie. So at number 1, I picked The King's Daughter. Number 2 is The Tiger Rising. Now this movie was really bad, for sure. It was at the cringe level of bad. And the reason why I say cringe level of bad is because, what's his name? Dennis Quaid, I believe is his name, and Queen Latifah are in this movie. I was trying to think of his name for a moment. Dennis Quaid. Yeah, he pretty much plays a dick in this movie. And basically, he captures a tiger, and then what happens with the tiger is something you gotta watch. But the movie and the script is so horrible, and it seems like it's fine for a child, for kids to watch it, I guess you could say, but pretty much I didn't like this movie. The script was really awful and not going anywhere. The pacing was really off too. It just was bad in so many ways. I can't remember much of the video, but yeah, you can definitely go check out my movie review for The Tiger Rising. I think you might like it. I kind of rant on this movie quite a lot because I really hated this movie. Queen Latifah was the only one that said some weird, uh, like, truth-seeking shit and all that. I don't fucking know. but she seemed very wise and all that, and knowledgeable with what she was saying. But it didn't make the movie seem bearable to watch. It made it a nightmare to watch. So at number 2, I picked The Tiger Rising. Number 3 is Moonfall. This was a pretty bad movie. It gets worse towards the end. Carlos Pena's in this movie, Patrick Wilson, Halle Berry's in this movie too, and John Bradley is in the movie too from Game of Thrones. John Bradley's character, I don't fucking know. It's just the way that they went about that a certain alien life form was. It was something that was really bad that made the script seem stupid and unwatchable. This was one of the worst movies this year, and I didn't like this movie, honestly. It just was so cringe, and there was nothing to like about this movie. Some of the plot kind of gets very stupid towards the end of the movie, and you just think to yourself, like, what the fuck am I watching? It's about the moon falling into the earth or whatever, and then once you have to get this, you gotta, like, in this movie, the character has to sacrifice himself to save Earth. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's pretty. I don't know. The script was really bad, and it was very redundant of a movie. I will not watch this movie again, or even own it, because I know it just came out on DVD last Tuesday. So, fuck that movie. I like Halle Berry and Patrick Wilson in it, but the movie script was not good. So, at number 3 was Moonfall. Number 4 is Blacklight. Now, this was a Liam Neeson movie, and there were some action scenes I kind of enjoyed, but the script overall just felt like it was done before in so many other movies, like Taken, he's done. Then some other movies like The Marksman that he did. It just feels like a script that I have seen before in other movies of his, and some other movies from other actors that have done scripts like these before. So the script is unoriginal, honestly. It's trying to be original, but does it succeed? It's kind of disappointing, honestly. You can definitely go check out my movie review for Blacklight. And at number 4, I picked Blacklight for this list. Number 5 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, this was so bad. It was not a very good movie. The reason why it was not a very good movie is because the acting was pretty bad. The script was really just forgettable, honestly, and some of the kill scenes surprised me towards the end. It really surprised me, but it just felt like a movie that is so forgettable, and people who want to like this movie, that's your choice, but I think it's a really retarded movie, meaning it's really dumb of a movie. So it doesn't know what it wants to be, honestly, this Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a horrible remake, honestly. So at number 5, I picked Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You can definitely go check out my movie review for it if you haven't seen it. I think I explained it a little bit better than I did with the last movie I was talking about, but I'm not really going into much explanation. I'm just putting it on my list and mentioning my explanation on why I didn't like the movie. It's just some of the performances was not very good, and it just felt like a cringe-worthy movie to get through. At number 6 is A Medea Homecoming. Now, there was supposed to be another movie that was supposed to make this list, but the reason why I didn't deem it to make the list is because uh, something happened with the certain actor that was in the movie. Uh, but I can't explain what. You can definitely look into it in one of my videos. I think it was for Studio 666. It's not a terrible movie. I just don't want to mention my overall thoughts. I'm keeping my opinions to myself on that movie. Because I got nothing to say about that movie. Because of Taylor Hawkins passing away, unfortunately. Which is still pretty sad. But, yeah. A Medea Homecoming movie, it just felt like the jokes were going nowhere. And Tyler Perry's running out of... He's making too many Medea movies. Movies, I meant to say. And it's just... The script is not very good. And the overall lines that they're getting for this movie, and Tyler Perry trying to come up with good jokes for Medea to use, his character that he's playing as, it doesn't do well. There's some jokes that may land, but it just gets boring and draggish to get through this movie, and I just stopped this movie like close to the end of the movie. I didn't want to see anymore. I was like, fuck this movie. This movie is garbage. So at number 6 is A Medea Homecoming. Alright, at number 7 is Deep Water. This one I watched not that long ago. I think a few weeks ago, I believe. I just was disappointed with this. And the reason why I was disappointed is because Ben Affleck's character seemed very jealous of Anya de Armas's character, and I kind of liked her character more. But Ben Affleck did have a lot more to do with his character in this movie, because he was the main protagonist in this movie. But yeah, I just didn't like this movie. The script was very washed up, and it was starting to get a little boring to get through this movie, is what I'm trying to say. So it was a very boring movie to get through. So at number 7, I picked Deep Water. Alright, at number 8 is Cheaper by the Dozen. This had Zach Blaffer, whatever his name is, and another actress that was in this movie. She didn't do so bad, but it's just the script was really crappy, and it didn't seem enjoyable of a watch for me. It just felt like this movie had overused ideas, and they're trying to remake something that should have been buried and done. Meaning, this movie should have not come out, honestly. But it did, and Disney just wants to do remakes, and fuck this shit. This movie is garbage. I didn't like the script. I didn't like how the script felt done before, honestly, from the first Cheaper by the Dozen movie in 2003. And that was with the character Mark running away from home. And then you have another character in this movie that runs away from his home. And it's an unoriginal script. And it's not a very interesting movie. And the characters in this movie and some of the way that they're playing, following the script and all that, the script is very overused from the first movie, and it's copying the first movie of the 2003 Cheaper by the Dozen movie. So yeah, didn't like this movie. It's a very washed up movie, and at number 8 I picked Cheaper by the Dozen. I hope I explained it as best as I could with this movie. Number 9 is Uma, I meant to say. This one was another bad movie. The script it was pretty garbage, honestly. I like the actress that played in this movie. The Can't remember her name, but I'll have to look it up on Google or whatever. But still, yeah, the main actress in this movie didn't do so bad, but it was just the script and the runtime, and it was very fast paced of a movie, and they didn't really go into much more explanation in this movie on why this a creature or whatever is possessing her or whatever, the main character, and it just didn't feel like a good script, honestly. So it just didn't go into explanation of that, and that's what disappointed me with this movie. So at number 9, I picked Umma. And number 10 is Infinite Storm, and I'll have to return to you for the last 5 I'm going to mention in just a moment. Yeah, I thought I heard something for a moment, like a dog barking really loud. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, Infinite Storm just feels boring, honestly. Um, Sorry if you heard a background noise a moment ago. It was something with a dog barking, I think. I'm not sure. But still. Um, like outside my house or whatever. So, yeah. Um, Sorry about the distraction. Uh, Infinite Storm was pretty bad, and it was just not a good movie. I just felt bored with this movie and the overall script. Naomi Watts is actually pretty good in this movie, but it's basically the characters and how the movie pacing is going. It's boring the shit out of me. So I just didn't feel anything for this movie. So at number 10, I picked Infinite Storm. Alright, I'm going to have to return to you for section 2 of the worst movies of 2022 so far, part 1, section 1 video, or section 2 video, I meant to say, because I just finished up on section 1, and I hope you did enjoy it. I did what I could to explain the best way I could on what I thought of these movies and why I picked them on this list, because they were pretty bad movies, and disappointing ones too. So there's a lot more movies this year that are pretty bad, and less best movies, honestly. So it's a shame. This year's starting to bum me out a bit with the movie scene. I think some movies are okay. It's just this list right here has the most movies on my list that is pretty bad, in my opinion at least. But I hope you enjoyed this lengthy video for worst movies of 2022 so far, part 1, section 1 video. I'll have another part of this coming out in a moment after I upload this video and all that, or it might have to be a little later because I do gotta go run some errands soon. But stay safe, take care guys, and I'll see you soon in part 1, section 2, I meant to say, of worst movies of 2022 so far video.